Hello and welcome back for your daily dose of LOL Esports content, where I'm going to cover the two series that took place in the LCK this morning and preview the LEC series of winter playoffs that occurred in the afternoon. I then also will preview tomorrow's games. Predictions went 2-1 on the day. LCK, Nongshim, and KT. KT would win 2-0. Deft 11, 312, 29% of damage. Barrel 7, 115. So the bot lane went 18, 4, and 27 combined. Jiwoo 353, 32% of damage in the loss. So, a series where I didn't highlight anybody from Nongshim. I felt it was pretty one-sided. Both games were pretty solidly in KT's favor at the end of laning phase. I will give Sylvie some credit. He was very active in game one, really trying to bail out Call Me and give him an opportunity into BDD. BDD on the Azir would get a solo kill in game one. Barrel on the Zyra, a 2v2 kill. Deft on Ashe, a solo kill. And then Perfect on K'Sante was also strong. At the end of laning phase at about 18 minutes, KT had a 3k gold lead. Nongshim had taken 4 trips to mid in an attempt to put BDD behind. BDD ends up not only with that solo, but actually being ahead 4 CS, which isn't a lot, but when you take into account how much time Red Force spent there, that's not a great look. KT's bot lane had 32 CS because they went bot a couple times to try and make things happen. And then in the mid to late game, Perfect on the K'Sante took over in team fights. Game 2 at 14 minutes, 2.1k gold lead for KT. Perfect on the K'Sante again, had 2 solo kills. Although Din Din was ahead 7 CS at the end of laning phase, K'Sante and Perfect were on another level. Pioshik on Rammus. It was the first Rammus jungle since 2013 in the LCK, I believe they said. He took 3 trips bot side, got the bot lane ahead 43 CS in this one, so clearly the Nongshim bot lane had their work cut out for them. And it was one of those slow death sort of games where Nongshim didn't have an answer. Frankly, they just didn't have an answer, and KT were not going to be denied against Nongshim after they had just beaten Gen G. After that, we have KDF and FearX. KDF win 2-1. Bulldog 9-1-17, 36% of damage. Quantum in his LCK debut at support 1-3-26. Henna 6-7-7, 29% of damage in the loss. We had a slow series here to say the least. Game 1, 19-minute laning phase that only a 1k gold lead transpired from, so it was essentially tied. 19 CS lead for Dudu into Clear, 18 CS lead for Closer into Bulldog. Cuz more active than Willer, getting around, making some things happen in terms of at least attempting ganks. However, Bull on the Callista was the difference maker in the mid game, getting kills, securing kills. Nice alties. Bulldog on the Azir. Nice shuffles. Created a lot of space. And that allowed KDF to get by FearX. Game 2, another slow one at 18 minutes. Only a 400 gold lead, so essentially tied again. Dudu was ahead 31 CS over Clear. Closer had 13 again. Closer would have the edge in all 3 games, as well as Dudu in topside having the edge. Willer more active than Cuz in game 2. Cuz actually not getting any real ganks off. Closer on the Azir, very strong and the only player really worth mentioning as a difference maker in game 2 in my opinion. Game 3, 14-30, essentially tied again. FearX had 800 CS, 12 in the jungle, 30 in bot lane as Henna and Execute did get quite ahead of Bull and Quantum. Bulldog on the way, dealt quite a bit of damage in the early to mid game. I think he led the game in damage. Henna on the Aphelios secured all the kills for FearX in the laning phase, but Cuz on the Lee Sin, good kicks and team fights, secured objectives, and won them the game. I think there was a moment where he may have had a triple, something like that. Like it was a really nice play out of Cuz that really secured them this win. So I could argue maybe he was MVP. For Nongshim KT, it was perfect. Mad Lions quite fanatic. Mad win 3-2. Suppa 30, 13, and 30, 29% of damage. Frescawi 19, 12, 34. Humanoid 22, 16, 33, 28% of damage in the loss. I did think Fnatic would win this one 3-2. Obviously, this is a big moment for 4 of Mad Lions players. But the one player where it wasn't, Elyoya, he was very strong in this one. And I would argue also Frescowi showed up in Game 5 at quite a high level on the Azir. Just going back to watching my Mad Lions Koi preview video that I made, released on Christmas. And I guess in the end, we'll see what happens, and this is what's happened, right? They're probably, I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to it, but they've made quite a good run. Malzet's a really good coach. Mirwin on top lane is on another level. He's a fun top laner to watch. So let's go through this. Fnatic actually had a gold lead in 4 of the 5 games at the end of laning phase. So Mad Lions continue to be behind at 15 minutes. This is problematic, just how I talk about BDS as well. But Fnatic at 17 minutes, 1.8k gold lead. Is that a lot? No, but you are spotting them gold. 48 CS for Razork on the brand, ahead of Elyoya on the Xin Zhao. But the classic trade-off is Xin Zhao makes things happen, and he did. And that allowed Suppa and Alvaro to get in a decent position. Suppa on the center was able to carry in the mid to late game. And Mirwin on the Akali really took over. The 21 CS lead in laning phase was sizable. He did get the better of Oscarinin in this one, which isn't a shock. But I will say Game 2, which we'll talk about in a second, heavily Oscarinin in favor. And I feel like people are kind of ignoring just how strong he was on the K'Sante. So Game 2, 14 minutes or so. Fnatic have a 6k gold lead. I mean, it's essentially over. 35 CS lead in bot lane, double digits in jungle and mid. Oscarinin on the K'Sante, 2 solo kills on Mirwin. Mirwin on the Gwen. Noah on the Lucian, a 2v2 kill. And then Humanoid on the Karma, very strong, getting around the rift, making things happen. Game 3, 16 minutes. This is the game Mad Lions actually had a lead, 1.2k gold, 36 of it on Mirwin. They had a level 1, which is why I give Malzet a lot of credit for this series. Level 1s we do not see often, and when you do see one, it tends to take the other team off guard because not many people are doing it, and Mad Lions were spotted 3 kills. And then they continue to go topside to try and get Mirwin on the Varus ahead, one of his top picks from last year. And it ended up being 36 CS lead. Elyoya on the Ivern, very strong. High KP, very supportive. Frescowi on the Gragas had a solo kill. Gragas is one of his strongest champions as well. So it's not surprising to me to see this composition when you really take into account what these players have played in the past. Now, in Game 3, June on the Maokai was integral to allowing Fnatic to crawl back into this one. It felt very lopsided. I think it was 11-1 in kills at one point for Mad Lions Koi. Fnatic were able to claw their way back into it. Humanoid on the way ended up with a solo kill as well. Suppa on the Kesa kind of put a stop to it. Noah on the Ezreal fighting back, so it ended up being an 80 carry battle back and forth. Humanoid trying to deal some damage. Frescowi on the Gragas, nice flanks, nice ultis. And that's also why Frescowi ends up being MVP. The Game 3 Gragas performance was really strong, and it is why it has been one of his best picks last year and this year. Game 4, 15-30, Fnatic slight gold lead, 17 CS lead for Humanoid and mid on the way. Suppa on the Ezreal, strong in the early game. Oscarinin on the Zac, getting kills, and obviously great CC from Zac in the mid game. Noah on the Varus, cleaning things up, and then Humanoid on the way. Definitely better than his Game 3 performance on the champion. There were some moments where it was like, oh, this is how good Wei can be. And then there were some moments that it was like, oh, well, this is a new champ. So mistakes are going to happen, I guess. Now, Game 5, Fnatic threw. At 16 minutes, they had about a 2k gold lead, 24 CS lead for Oscarinin, 25 for Razork. I mean, hell, Fnatic had went everywhere. They hit all the lanes. They were able to trade Grub Spawns and Drakes, but Frescowi on the Azir, solo kill onto Humanoid, outplaying a gank by Razork, and then Suppa on the Senna, a 2v2 kill in bot lane, as Ezreal and Karma for Fnatic just didn't do enough. I mean, Noah on the Ezreal was strong, and I thought that was going to be the difference maker of this series. I said it in my prediction video. I thought Noah wasn't going to be denied. I felt like he was playing really, really well against SK, and honestly looked like an LCK ADC.
And then in this one, I felt like there would be moments where he could do that, and in Game 5 would be one of those. And it just wasn't the case. And in Game 5 specifically, it became a macro battle. Like, Mad really outplayed Fnatic in terms of around objectives, taking turrets, trading. The classic chess game. Like, Game 5 ended up being one of those chess games in the mid to late game, and Mad Lions won it. They won that chess game. It wasn't necessarily because they were team fighting them, but they ended up taking objectives, getting themselves in a good position, and winning the game from that. Sneak peek for tomorrow: LCK, HLE, Genji, both 6-1. HLE coming off a win against Bro. Genji lost to KT. Last time they played, Genji won 3-0 in summer playoffs. 4 of the 10 starters are the same on the same team at least. Chovy pays 19-9 and 27, 52% of damage. Zeka and Viper 19-11, 12, 61% of damage and the loss. After that, we have D plus Kia and DRX. D plus Kia 2-5, coming off of loss to T1. DRX 1-6, lost to the Guangdong Freaks. Last time they played in playoffs, D plus would win 3-0. 3 of the 10 starters are the same. Showmaker went 16-2 and 25 with 29% of damage in that victory. Lastly, we have Mad Lions Koi BDS. So Mad Lions Koi 5-4, BDS 7-2. They only played once. BDS would win. Caveat: Adam is not playing tomorrow. Gen X is playing. And in my opinion, Gen X into Fnatic, there's a chance for BDS. A stronger chance for BDS than against Mad. I think Mirwin's going to give Gen X a lot of trouble. Ice, 9-1-10, 30% damage in that win. Suppa, 1-5-1, 23% of damage in the loss. Jungle favoring Mad. Frescowi played really well today. And there will be something to be said for Mad coming in. They're going to come in not fresh, but not rusty as well. Where BDS, I could see some rust action going on. I could see that Mad are just more prepared because they played today. Bot lane is going to be, honestly, it's going to be an interesting series. But, we're seeing what happens, right, with Mad Lions Koi. And so far, so good, I guess, right? So, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.